It's Talk Funny, a podcast by Mark Bailey and other comics from all over. We ended up in Japan because we wanted to see a place where people explain Japanese rules to us but cannot explain when to use wa or ga from the Japanese language. The Talk Funny podcast from Nagoyaradio.com and Nagoyacomedy. Here's Mark Bailey.
Welcome back to Talk Funny. I'm Mark Bailey. Mike Miller is here.
Hello.
We were talking previously about motivation in school, and a lot of us teach and everything, and when we're not making our real money on stage or with the podcast,
yeah.
And one of the things as Mike was saying off mic was we try to help people. Not everybody is there in school to learn; they're just there because they have to be. And the problem is their parents are paying the money, so you're being paid to teach. And after all this experience that I've had, I think, that saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I think I've learned how to make horses drink water now, even if they don't want to do it, because that's basically what I do every day.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to do a presentation. Well, you're going to. Well, I don't want to. Well, but you have to. But I don't want to. But if you don't, you're going to fail. But I don't want to fail. Well, is there any way I could not fail? Yeah, you can do a presentation. Is there any way I could not fail and not do a presentation? And you go to the office and your boss will say, okay, report. Make them do a report that you never read. I'm sorry, you had something to say.
I was just going to say, Mark, you should be a motivational speaker because that's what you do every day, right? When you're not doing comedy.
Yeah.
You're motivating.
Well, my attitude is, okay, so I told you last week, so let's do it as, life coach. So, Mike, we did some mirror exercises that I taught you last week. I gave you some tools to help propel you toward your goal. Life reaffirmation courses, exercise that I gave you where you look in the mirror and you say, I'm fantastic and I can do this. I'm a smart person. I can solve any problem. So did you do any of that?
No.
Get out of my class. You're a loser and you're never going to get better. Okay, anybody, by the way, if you know anyone else that needs help. What did I tell you? I told you to do that. Yeah, but I just didn't feel motivated. But what did I tell you? I talked to you, right? What are you, stupid? I told you, right? I told you. It's from Goodfellas. I told you, right? I told you to talk in the mirror, right? I told you to do that, right? You didn't do that? All right, you're dead to me. He's gone. He's gone. There's nothing we can do. What do you mean he's gone? He's out of the course? He's out of the course. He's in Florida. He's in Australia. He's not coming back. What do you mean? We did everything we could. He's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, I just kind of lose my patience because one thing that hits you after you're 50 is, all these cranky old men that you used to know when you were 20, you become them. And I figured out it's just they've heard so much BS and so many. Yeah, I mean, I know that multi-level marketing doesn't always work, Mike, but if you give it a chance and if you really try, and if you really try hard, no, it's BS. It's not. It doesn't work. It's a scam. Yeah. No, you have a negative attitude. That's why it doesn't. No, it doesn't work because it's a scam. I had a long time, one of my best friends called me up out of the blue. I'm in Japan, and he's in New York, and he goes, hey, I wanted to talk to you about a great opportunity. And I said, before you start, yes or no, is it Amway? And he hung up. I just burst that balloon.
But the thing is, they never call it Amway now. They have all these other names. Proven. A neighbor foisted it on me, and it was called Proven Business Systems, or it had some bizarre name, and I was like, there's no respectable business that calls itself something so vague as that, and I knew it was something ridiculous.
It just is a business point of view. There was one of these, I don't forget what it was called. It might have been Amway. It was one of those things. Definitely multi-level marketing. Multi-level marketing, think about it. So you're selling the best shampoo there is.
That's right.
Not sold in stores.
No, we don't sell it in stores.
Okay, why wouldn't it be in stores? Because if everybody would want that, right?
I've never thought of it that way.
I mean, you know what stores are? They're a collection of things that people want.
Yeah.
Basically. But this is not sold in stores.
A lot of sense.
These are not sold in stores, so how popular is it really? And then, but Mark, you're misunderstanding. It's the best shampoo.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's too good for stores, actually. I mean, if we sold it in stores, we'd run out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that doesn't. Do you have a business? Could I see your business plan? Yeah, I'll get that to you.
I'll get that to you
on February 30th.
That's right.
Yeah, February 30th.
That's right.
And
once you invest your money,
so think about this. Okay, you really think that you have the best shampoo, right? And you really believe in your product, and you're a good salesman, right? And you're selling it, but it's multi-level marketing, and you have an uplink, right? And he's making money on your commission, right? You're making commission. Let's say it's the best shampoo in the world. It's $1 a bottle, little tiny bottle, $1 a bottle. Now, 10 cents of that goes to you, but 5 cents of your 10 cents goes to your uplink. But your uplink has an uplink. So there's probably another 10 cents built into that overinflated price of $1. It's probably worth 50 cents. With all the uplink that you've got, Wait a minute. But my uplink has an uplink? Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of buildings they used to build in Egypt many thousands of years ago, but I forget what they were called.
Triangle.
What was it?
What is it?
Ziggurats? No.
It was a Maracas scheme, a triangle scheme,
rectangle
scheme.
Rectangle scheme?
Three.
Well, maybe it was a trapezoid, was it?
Well, I used to date an Egyptian girl, and I always dreaded the day when she got her pyramid. So...
multi-level marketers of the world. We apologize.
Pyramid scheme, and we're out. I mean, I'm out with an MLM friend of mine, a multi-level marketing friend of mine in Japan. I didn't want to tell him to his face what I thought of his business, but I said, we were eating sukiyaki. You do me a favor and pass me the Ponzi sauce.
Ponzi sauce.
And
nice.
Who knew that guy named Ponzi, who was scheming everybody, they'd name it after him?
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
He's famous. Look up Wikipedia. They've got a whole listing of all of his different scams, and he did it again and again and again and again, like hundreds of times, I think.
So as a businessman, if you think about it, you look at all the uplinks, okay, that are involved in that $1 price. Probably the value is 50 cents, probably.
Right.
Now, if I have a shampoo company, I'm going to sell it for 50 cents. 55 cents. I'm going to make a 5 cents on every bottle of shampoo, and I don't have any uplink.
Exactly.
So I'm going to knock you out of business, no matter how good your salesmen are.
Exactly.
By the way, I'm going to take your best salesman, your highest uplink. He's going to work for me.
Right.
Because all you're doing is selling, and everybody's taking a piece of your effort.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks for the consumer. Because it's subsidized.
Exactly, and right? I can have this, I can sell it instead, and I can make a higher margin, and I can sell it to these places that are open like 8 hours a day, where people can walk in and actually get the product, and they don't actually have to call you up and make an appointment to meet you to buy the product. What are those called again? They're called, it starts with S, I think. What is it?
See if I get this concept right. You're going to store that product.
That's right.
In a place. What would we call a place that you store that?
I don't know. What would we call that?
And wait a minute, you can just go in anytime?
Yeah, you can go in anytime, and there'll be someone
place
there
where they store it is open?
Yeah.
Yeah, what would you call a place?
I don't know what
I was going to the place where they store the thing.
Yeah.
And the place where they store the thing doesn't really close. So you can go to that place where they store that thing.
That's amazing.
You can buy, we call them buys.
Wow,
you can buy it
buys.
anytime.
I like that.
Buy what you store. Can I buy what you store?
Yeah, that's right.
And after a while, you get tired of saying the place where they store it, and you call it a store.
That's right.
One of my students, one time, she said, I don't like museums because it's full of old stuff. I want to go to a place full of new stuff. I said, isn't that a store?
Yeah, she's probably right. She probably goes shopping every other day.
Another pet peeve that I have about original topic, where you try to help people, and they don't want to be helped. And it's harder to do that than to make a horse drink water. You could actually, it's easier to bring the mountain to Muhammad than it is to make someone learn. But the system says you're a bad teacher if you let all these people fail.
Exactly.
And you're supposed to give them a chance. You give them a chance over and over again. And what I learned is don't get in their way because you're wasting your time. And a lot of effort. And I have a story. It's a girl. When they're out for a long time and they're sick, I feel sorry for them. And she was gone at this one place. If you miss 6, you're out of there. Man, that is strict. It's a 15-week class, and you can only miss 6? Like I said, I don't want to ride on a plane where the pilot missed 47% of the classes.
Or the hospital where a doctor missed like 50% of the classes.
Yeah, it said...
It might be your kidney or it might be your liver. We're not sure.
Well, I know how to open...
We're just going to take both out.
Sorry about the bleeding, but I never learned how to stitch you up. I only know how to open.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
I was absent the other day.
Always be closing.
Always be close.
But you're not supposed to stitch everything up. I mean, you stitch my nose up and my ear holes. And that I had surgery on my spleen.
And where's my other leg?
And where are you? I can't see you. And when you get on a plane where the guy goes, I only learned how to take off. I never learned how to land. But we're going to hit New York, and then we're going to
hit New York.
Then we're going to Mecca. But this one girl, and she seemed like a nice girl. She had glasses. I just stereotypes. You just assume.
You think she's academic?
She probably does well in other classes. You miss 6 and you're out. She missed 5 in a row. Now that's a big problem. In a row is a big problem because you can miss the first 5 classes of a 15-week, and you don't even know my name. I mean, you don't know anything. Right. So I think 5 is way too high. But anyway. After 6, they'll fail you at this one school. At a lot of universities. All right. So I saw him 5. We're on a crash course here. When she finally showed up,
crashing.
Yeah, she wants to crash. I talked to her in the hall, and I said, "We have speaking tests next week. You're not ready at all. You haven't been here at all. You don't have the schedule. You don't know anything what we're doing." And she said, "Well, I've been really sick." And I said, "Okay, if you bring me a note next week from your doctor, there's also presentations, you missed 4 of them. I said, and the next week you do all the presentations that you missed, and you show me the doctor's note, I will let you take the speaking test. And you're going to have to study really hard. You only got a week. Everybody else has been studying for 2 months.
Right.
She goes, okay, I'll do it. She showed up the next week. Where's the doctor's note? I don't have it.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the presentations? He goes, I do have the presentations. I'll do all those. Okay, it took 30 minutes of our time, right? I said, next week I need the doctor's note. That's for her. I said, you can't do the speaking test because I don't have the doctor's note. But you do presentations, and you can make up the speaking test next week. Next week, she's absent.
Oh, man.
If I had just not gone out of my way and give her all these chances to make the presentations, it's only the 7th, 8th week, and she missed 6.
Yeah.
So now when I see someone, they miss 4 in a row, as I've told you, I am from the future. If they miss 4 in a row and it's the 6th week, they're going to miss more than 6 before the end. So all you got to do is get out of their way.
Yeah.
And you don't have to warn them. It's in the syllabus. So, and I did it twice in a row at that school. I got burned both times. I mean, I actually do want to see them do well.
Of course.
You know,
every teacher does. We don't want students to fail.
Yeah, I had an infected lung, and I was out for 5 weeks, and Bailey helped me, and I ended up getting a C, instead of failing it, right? At this one school, I hear these new teachers, and they say, well, I'm very strict. If you miss 2 of my classes, you're out of here. I'll just kick you out. And I said, actually, at this one school, I don't know if I think I told you this joke at a picnic one time.
That's going to work really.
I think I told you this.
Come on.
When I hear people say, yeah, well, I'm going to be very strict. And I say, well, no, actually, at this one school that you work at, that I also work at, I'll tell you something. A student can die, and he'll still get an A.
Yeah.
And I know because the dean came to my house. I thought I was getting fired. And he came to my house with the department head, and they had a piece of paper, and they said, do you remember Kinsey, blah, blah, blah? They said, I don't think you would. He was there for 1 day, and then he was in hospital, and then he died. And so he said, okay, well, I was busy teaching. I had nothing to do with that.
I got an alibi. I got a lawyer.
You didn't even tell me what day.
Yeah.
Tell me the day.
Yeah.
And he died on a Sunday.
I was at a conveni that
He died on a Sunday. No, I was in prison for throwing away. I was in jail for throwing away vegetables at a convenience store. You can talk to the warden. But I actually said I had nothing to do with that, and they said, no, it was cancer.
Dodge that one.
You guys didn't look in the back, did you? You're not going to dig around outside, right?
Yeah.
So there were no women missing, right? Right. Okay. No students missing? No. No bar hostesses missing? Okay. And so they said, his family just post-mortem want to put on the wall, and he graduated. And he can't graduate without you giving him a grade. And they said, so what grade would you give him? And I said, well, he was in my class one time, didn't really do any work, he didn't take the tests. I mean, I know he's dead, but I mean, I don't know, C?
Yeah.
And they said, we were thinking, they sucking their teeth, we're thinking a little higher. Okay, stretching it, but a B? We're thinking a little higher. He was dead. He did die.
This is like The Price is Right. Sir, what about a C? B?
And of course, I didn't want to get fired or anything, and I'm going to do what they say. But I'm thinking in my head, there's guys with acne that are working really hard in that class, and they got a C.
Yeah.
And he's dead.
Yeah.
He gets an A. The guy who missed 3 classes gets a C. That's BS. They said, well, you're thinking a little higher. I said, B plus. A minus? A. They said, we're thinking A. And I said, you're my boss, so why don't you just write it? They said, well, you need to sign it. And I said, well, you write the A. So he wrote the A, and I signed it. So when I hear people saying, I'm very strict on my class. No, you're not. If you work at that school, believe me, if a dean comes to your house, you're signing it. You're giving them an A. And so that's when I lost all faith in universities and the system.
I'd say don't lose faith. The problem is what is it they always say? Don't blame the player, blame the game. And the problem is not really the players in a lot of cases, the teachers or the students. It's the game that we're forced into, giving people little labels of A and B and C that don't really mean anything else in the real world. They just mean something inside the university or the school. And we might be better off without them, but there's a whole pressure on top of us that tells us, no, you gotta enforce these rules. You've got to give everybody a certain letter at the end of the day, and we do the best we can to try and harmonize the real what's really going on with this system. And I don't know. That's the way I look at it.
And in Japan, you have honmai tatemae. You have the outside facade, and you have the inside, what the real game is. And the old movie Mr. Baseball, which was filmed in Nagoya.
Great
which talks
movie.